Good morning, lovelies. This is the last week of National Novel Writing Month, and today we're going to talk about how to stay motivated so you actually finish that damn thing. Before we get started, remember to click that subscribe button and smash the like button. It really helps this channel grow. Also, I still have that NaNoWriMo writing group for fantasy and sci-fi writers. The link is in the description. Again, if you're having some technical issues joining, let me know. Tell me your username in the comments. I will send an invite to you. A problem that many authors, especially new authors, face is that it's really hard to stay motivated throughout the course of writing your book. At the start of NaNoWriMo, we all had this great big surge of motivation, like, all right, new book, new project, everyone's doing this, let's get this done, and that motivation gradually waned over the course of the weeks. And now for a lot of us, it's just like, oh my God, I'm behind on my word count. I'm so sick of this novel. I just want it to be done. And this, honestly, this is true of almost every single manuscript that you're gonna write. You're gonna start off feeling great, like, okay, great, new story, new characters, let's get started on this thing. And then it's usually around the halfway point that you're just like, oh my God, I just want this thing to be done. And that's even before you hit the self-editing process. Now, writing is a lot more fun with motivation, and I personally have found 3 ways to help kickstart mine so that way it's easier and more fun to write. Tip number 1, read books in similar genres. I mean, you should kind of be doing this already because it's a really good idea of knowing what's out there on the market, what are you competing with for shelf space, what are some common tropes and formulas that the audience likes, what are they getting sick of, what are some ways you can subvert them, etc. It's just a good idea to stay in tune with your genre as it grows over time. But it'll also help you think about how you would write this story. For example, the book that I'm writing now, Daughter of Hera, is a new adult urban fantasy story about Greek mythology in the modern day. And I got the idea in large part because of Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series. And I still read them, and I've recently finished the entire thing, the Trials of Apollo books. And as I'm reading these, and whenever I continue to go back and reread them, I always think to myself, gosh, this is really good, but here's how I would do it, or here's how I would spin this, or I would have gone with this version of that myth. Mostly because we have 2 very different audiences. He's telling the story to kids, I'm going for the adults. But it does help spark that little creativity process, and it's just like, oh, this is a really cool thing, but now I kind of want to take a stab at it myself. Number 2, watching writing videos on YouTube. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I watch a writing video or a favorite tropes video on YouTube, I immediately start thinking about my works in progress. So for example, if I'm just starting out writing a new book, I'll watch a video on writing beginnings or writing the first chapter, and it'll be like, oh, okay, cool, here are some cool ideas with how I can start this thing. Or if my book features a fallen hero, watch videos on how to do that, or maybe a redemption arc, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, here are some really cool ways that I can do this. Now I'm really excited to like get back into writing it. I personally recommend Overly Sarcastic Productions' Trope Talks, Hello Future Me's World Building series, and Jenna Moressi's Writing Tips videos. They're all really great, really informative, and for me anyway, they're a really great kick in the pants, and they get me motivated to write my own book. And as a bonus, it helps you improve your writing. Finally, number 3, join a writing group. It's really easy to feel discouraged when you're alone. You start to isolate, you start thinking, oh my God, this thing is so hard. How do people do this? I can't do this. But when you're in a writing group and you're seeing other people facing the same struggles that you are, it becomes easier because you're encouraging each other and you help each other out. You may find someone in the group that is dealing with a problem that you actually know how to solve, so you get to reach out to them and help them out. And then when you tell the group, hey, I'm really struggling with this, you'll find like 5 people who are just like, oh yeah, no, I dealt with that same thing. Here are some ways to solve that, go around that, fix that, etc. When you're in a group, you motivate and encourage each other, and your chances of actually finishing your manuscript go way up. These 3 tricks can help kickstart your motivation and give you that short burst kick in the pants to get moving. But what ultimately keeps it going is discipline. What separates the amateur writers from the professional writers and the incomplete manuscripts from the complete manuscripts is that professionals write even when they don't feel that initial driving surge of motivation. They write because it's their job, because they really, really want to get this book done, and they know that in the end it'll all be worth it. So even when they don't feel that fire of motivation, even when it's not the start of NaNoWriMo, they're still writing. They are plugging words into their manuscript. And even though it's probably going to come out kind of crappy, they know that they're going to fix it later. That's what the self-editing process is for. This is why most writers encourage writing every day. It's a form of discipline, and ultimately, it's what finishes your book. Now I gotta get back to writing. I'm a lot behind on my NaNoWriMo word count goal, which in and of itself is a form of motivation for me. Let me know how you stay motivated in the comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I post twice a week. And this is your last chance to sign up for the anniversary YouTube giveaway. So if you want to win a bunch of free books, click on this video and it'll show you how to do that. Bye, lovelies!